So thank you very much for introduction, Ikemoto-sensei, and also invitation to this symposium. And today, my topic is slightly different, very big difference from the talk of the other session in this conference. So not only synchrotron, but also I use many techniques to characterize microplastics. And this is today's content. And I have a very long introduction because maybe you are not familiar with microplastics. And also, I'd like to show some example on the polymer degradation and the environmental plastics. And actually 3 and 4 and 5 include some characterization technique. So if I have enough time, I can give some like a recent study on environmental degradation of fishing line fibers. So the starting point of my research is a little bit a long time ago, but actually the many projects in Japan started after Chemical Summit in 2019 in RSC in London. And I have a delegate chair of the Japanese team, and we have published this white paper in this symposium, this summit. And we have many, the content include many, so this is not this, okay, many like major challenge such as develop new sustainable plastics, and also including the microplastic problem, environmental plastic problem. So you can search this white paper by science to enable sustainable plastics. So this is a well summarize the status of the plastics in 2019, but now still this is some of the things can be like utilized in our recent like a research project. So the plastic production has been increased very rapidly, and now the little bit slowdown after COVID. And the first discovery of the microplastic was 1972, but this time not only few people pay attention to this like environmental plastics. And then 2002, development of microplastic was, definition of the microplastic was like published. And then we have a large number of the paper on the microplastics, particularly environmental science. And most of the plastics is like utilized for packaging. And in this case, like a lifetime is very short, and like 3 months or so, like this one. And this causes many big problems in our environment. And in the case of the production in Japan, polyolefin, such as polyethylene and polypropylene, is 50% of the plastics. And like this is like not a new one, but still our current status is almost the same. Like only a few polymers are recycled, and many of them is discarded to the environment, and also like to use generate heat or incineration. So we have to increase the amount of the recycled plastics, and also we have to reduce the environmental plastics. So this is like our current challenges. So the discovery of the microplastic was 1972, And this science paper describes this kind of the plastic like a floating in the Sargasso Sea. And but this paper doesn't still not so many people cite this paper even though they are studying the microplastics, like maybe 200 citations. And then Professor Isobe in our Kyushu University estimated the amount of the microplastics in the ocean. And compared with this one, 1972, this amount is in ocean, in Sargasso Sea. And then 2016, production is 8 times compared to plastics is 8 times, but this amount is 10 to 6 to 10 to 5 to 10 to 6. It's more than the increase in the production rate. So when the Isobe sensei simulated this amount of the ocean plastics, and this amount is still like a 0.3 pieces per square, like a cubic meter. But his simulation expects that 2060, this amount increase more than 100 times. So this indicate that we have to reduce the amount of environmental plastics, and so that this simulation is done in order to reduce change our lifestyle and to reduce the amount of the environmental plastics. So the size of the environmental microplastics is like 5 millimeter to 1 micrometer. And this can be observed by optical microscope and collected by a microfilter. So how we can collect microplastic from the ocean? We use a Newton net, which is called a plankton net. And the size of the net is not so small, and because of the small pieces of the plastics is hard to collection will induce a big problem to like a very heavy weight to the sea. So the plastics can be, microplastics can be divided into 2 types. One is the primary microplastics, and the another one is the secondary microplastics. And these are used as a cosmetics and also some filtering purpose, or from the after washing the clothes, we can find the microfiber and also microbeads in some cosmetics. But this is banned in several years ago, and in Japan we do not have this kind of the microplastic containing cosmetics. And now like some PDMS particle has been used. So secondary microplastics is generated from the degradation and mechanical action. So that after degradation, our assumption is that the surface is degraded, and then some of the degraded part can be easily come out from the bulk plastics. So the formation mechanism of the formation is quite different. So we use many plastics in our daily life, and these like a recycle number 1 to 6 is almost 80% of plastics. And the PE, polyethylene, polypropylene, and high-density polyethylene, they are almost 50% of our plastics. And those density lower than density of the seawater can be floated on the ocean. And in the case of the polystyrene, we use many expanded polystyrene, hypopolystyrene, and they have a very low density so that they can float on the ocean. And we have many bio-PE and bio-PP in our daily life. Like when you do shopping, you can get this kind of packaging. And in that case, this is not biodegradable. And many people misunderstand that if you use this kind of the plastics, they are environmentally friendly action. But actually, this is just a reduced CO2 generation a little bit, and because they utilize bioethanol. So yeah, they showed a very similar degradation behavior with petroleum-based plastics. And when the plastics is floating like discarded, and they go from river to the ocean, and when they floating, and if they got sunshine, and particularly at the beach, they have a high sunshine and high oxygen content, so that they can also, with abrasion with the sun, they can generate microplastics. And these microplastics can be floated on the ocean, but if the biofilm formation occurs, they can, because the surface become hydrophilic, they can go to the sediment. So this is a very complicated scheme, but there is no scientific research. So we try to characterize this behavior by advanced analytical technique by synchrotron radiation. So the polymer degradation, and I'd like to discuss polymer degradation and environmental plastics. So the polymer can be degraded by UV, sunshine, and also heating. And also some polymer, like biodegradable polymer, can be digested by microorganisms. And in this case, the biodegradation defines the 100% converted to the CO2 and the water. And most of the plastics cannot go into the complete biodegradation. So this is a kind of the challenge of the polymer scientist. So in order to inhibit degradation, like many plastics, like in automobile, we have many additives, like antioxidant and anti-flame reagent, so that the plastics cannot survive without additives. So that's a very big problem, big things like many people should understand. So the polymer can be divided by a non-degradable one, and also partially degradable, photo-oxidative degradable, and biodegradable. And these are called the biodegradable polymer, and this one is called photo-oxidative degradable polymer. Many polyolefin are corresponding to this. And they can easily fragment it, and the fragmented one is not non-biodegradable, so that causes a microplastic problem. So this is a process of the degradation, and we usually put antioxidant to stop this reaction. And the hot oxidation rate is polypropylene is very fast, and polyethylene is a little bit slow. Why the polymer, we have to study this kind of the degradation process. Because a polymer is not uniform. They have a complicated higher order structure. And in this case, amorphous phase, they consist of the amorphous and the generic crystalline phase. And the degradation rate are generally higher in amorphous space so that they show the non-uniform degradation process. And also, surface is degradable. So it's very, very complicated. And also, if we have like a refrigerator or the TV, they use this kind of the plastics, which is have the glassy phase and amorphous phase, amorphous rubbery phase. And also this one, like we call the ABS resin, this amorphous rubbery phase is very highly degradable. So we try to understand how the microplastic generated. And in order to do this, we need to separate microplastics. And particularly, we use a filtration technique by using a various size of the filter. And also, we try to characterize like plastics by various methods, not only synchrotron, but also chromatography technique, and particularly IR is very, very powerful. And when we collect microplastics, this is the one we collected from the Tsushima. And this is finally we identified as PP, polypropylene. And first we analyzed by polarizing optical microscope. So if this is birefringent, we can conclude that this is crystalline polymer. And we can compare it with standard polypropylene by DSC. And X-ray diffraction, we can observe the crystalline diffraction. And also IR show the carbonyl band, which is not present in the original one. And also, since this piece is very, very small, we cannot do the tensile testing. So we try to measure the mechanical property by nano-indentation technique. So we can identify the degradation state of the microplastics by using these many characterization techniques. So this is an example of the microscopic characterization. And this is a very, very similar if we looked at the shape and the property. But we can conclude that this is from the LDPE, and this is from the Aztec polypropylene by comparing the standard sample. The big problem is, difficulty is we do not have a standard sample because we do not have the initial sample. So we need to compare with a standard sample. If so that we do not know the history of the microplastic, they stay how long they stay in ocean and how long they have a sunshine. So this is the example of the synchrotron radiation. So it's easy to characterize like a structure, like a crystalline peak. And one of the important things is that this shows the orientation. And that means that only amorphous phase is extensively degraded. And also, we carried out a TEM measurement by cross-section stained with ruthenium oxide. And in this case, internal region, we can see the crystalline lamellar. And this is a collaboration with Professor Jinnai in Tohoku. And in the surface layer, there is many degraded part. And also, we can confirm that like a micro IR, that they show the extensive carbonyl group formation, particularly near the crack or the surface. And now we try to separate these IR peak to these 5 more complicated carbonyl peak. And this approach has been used for various systems. So maybe when I give a talk in polymer science conference, I will give that kind of the detailed discussion. So that just I passed almost half of my slide, but I'd like to speed up. And we try to simulate the microplastic generation in lab because we need to screen how easy the microplastic formation of the new plastics. So we give a sunshine to these plastics and then fragment it by this blending machine. We call it blender. So we can get a fragment, and initially the surface of after shining light, if we this is corresponding to the 1 year lab experiment to 600 hours. The surface is highly degraded. And we can observe this kind of like a crack. And the mechanical property is okay, degraded. This is the stress strain curve, and this way, so that we can easily fragment it, the polypropylene. So not only the surface, but in the bulk phase, they start show the degradation. So we separated these generated small particle by sieving filtration. And this is a very classical method, but this is most efficient way to separate the plastics generated. And we can see that this is electron diffraction from the surface to the bulk phase. And as shown in real ocean microplastics, the surface, this model experiment shows the surface become amorphous phase, but inside they show the clear crystal diffraction. So we say this is clear, but many inorganic materials, this is not clear crystal. And we can compare the IR of the original one and the ocean microplastics and the isotactic PP fragmented by our lab experiment. So we can see this is has been done at first BL43 IR, and we can see that this kind of the very strong carbonyl peak in here. So one of the things that we observed is this is the carbonyl index of the fragment, and this is before the fragmentation. So the bulk phase has a very high carbonyl index, but the fragments show the very less. So we try to measure the aqueous phase by IR. So they have a very different, highly oxidized polymer in the aqueous phase. This means that the surface is degraded, and this has been dispersed in aqueous phase. And we also do put the polymer and the shaking in water, and we collected the water phase, and we find that we have a very big number of the microplastics generated from the surface area. The bulk phase is still keeping the film shape. And we can see that they have many nanoplastics, not only micro, but nano. So this is dynamic light scattering data. Also, surface is highly negative. So polypropylene is a non-negative hydrophobic surface, but oxidation finally became surface hydrophilic. So we try to characterize, this is an injection molded sample, but cross-section by IR, by microscope, and also IR. So this is a cross-section, and the degradation layer reached more than 600 micrometer. And this phase has a very highly oxide state, and also we can see the bubble inside this degraded layer. So this is inside, the center is almost pristine polypropylene. So we suppose this degraded layer is easily peeled off and generated like water hydrophilic plastics after like sunshine and mechanical stimulation. So this is a figure which shows these hypotheses. So now we can simulate these environmental degradation by using like shining the UV light and give a mechanical stimulation. So we have another topic, but on the fishing lines, and this is another very big problem, not microplastic, but we say the ghost fishing, and we try to solve this one with a collaboration with company by using the nylon 4, which they have a degradable enzyme in ocean. So we also studied biodegradation. We collect seawater in Hakata Bay and study the degradation behavior. And in this case, we confirm that nylon 4 is degradable, biodegradable in seawater. Yeah, and we confirm that the biofilm formation is very important. So in this case, also we utilize X-ray sacs to characterize the fiber, and in this case, biodegradation, they formed many, like a microvoid in the fishing line fibers. So my conclusion is that, yeah, we have shown the many methods to characterize microplastics. So our tentative conclusion is that the incomplete degradation leads to microplastic formation. And precise characterization on various structural level is important to review the degradation mechanism. And finally, I'd like to acknowledge the grant and also many collaborators, including Ikemoto Sensei in here, and also the partial support of the providing the nylon 4 fiber by Kureha. Sorry that, my talk is very rush, and if you have any question later, you can contact me and I can answer in detail. So thank you very much for your kind attention.
I have one question. You talk about the influence of UV irradiation, and you're not about the influence of water or salt water, because this time you talk about the microplastic in ocean. So the ocean environment will influence the degradation of plastic.
And mainly the main factor is sunshine. And in not only ocean, and also very similar behavior we can observe in the, on the sediment soil. And if we use for agriculture purpose, the plastic showed a very similar degradation. And also river and also lake, very, very similar behavior. So finally, they move to the ocean, so that we study. And also we have many microplastic in a lake and the river, but we cannot cover all the environment, so we just focus on the ocean.
Yes, it's time. If you have a question, please ask him after this session. Thank you.
Thank you.